Welcome, Lunch and Learners, to episode 63.
Two,
Wow,
two.
pardon me, 62. Thanks, Coach Juan. Okay, so welcome aboard, everybody. Thank you for spending part of your lunch hour with us. Even if you're watching on a replay, it could be a dinner hour, but really thank you for joining us. Our commitment is to make your life better every single day. And Coach Juan, as he does always, came up with a little tidbit for you. So take it away, Coach Juan.
Yeah, so what we have for you guys is like a little teaser from what you can get from the 6 minutes to success every day. So, and this is just like a preview of what comes in every day when you actually get enrolled to this program. And that's what we want to share with you today. So hopefully you get to take some notes. If not, then you could go and watch the replay here in the Facebook group. It's always going to be there for you guys. So let's go ahead and put that on for our audience.
Yes.
All right. So let's go ahead and hit play here.
Hello there and welcome back. This is Bob Proctor with another 6-minute to success idea. And this is one that can be worth its weight in gold to you. It's about time. Do you know that we all get the same amount of time? Now, when I say we all, I'm talking about everybody on the planet. We get all there is. Do you know the most effective industrialist in the world gets exactly the same amount of time as some hobo sleeping on a park bench? We get all there is. So it's what we do with our time that really makes the difference. And I have found the effective use of our time and the focus on that every now and then can make a greater difference in your income, in the productivity in your life, in your relationships, in everything. Focusing on what we're doing. Many, many years ago, Andrew Carnegie, who at the time around the turn of the century, around 1900, 1908, he was the wealthiest man in the world. He was in the steel industry. And he had one of his generals, Charlie Schwab, he paid him $1 million a year salary, and he would give him $1 million a year in a bonus. In 1908, think how much, that's a lot of money. Well, Charlie Schwab had a guy call on him one time, and Schwab said to him, well, what is it? And he said, sir, I've got an idea that I think would make you more effective, make you more efficient, and cause you to do the things you're doing in a much more effective way than you're doing them. And Schwab looked at him, he said, I've already got all kinds of ideas that would do all that. He said, if you can give me one idea to get me to do some of the things I already know, I'll pay you anything you ask. He said, I can do that. So he passed him a pad. He said, give me your pad. And he took a pad and he wrote on it, write out the 6 most important things you have to do tomorrow before you go to bed. And when you get up in the morning, do them. Now, that isn't pick up cleaning on the way home or pick up bread on the way home. It's the 6 most important goal-achieving ideas. Now, he said, if you do that, you'll find you'll be much more effective than you have in the past. You just send me a check for whatever you think it's worth. Well, it's reported that Schwab sent the man a check for $25,000 and said it was the most effective idea that he had ever learned from a dollar and cent point of view. The man's name was Ivy Lee. It was so effective, I've had little cards made for myself. I have the company logo at the top, and I have a quote at the bottom by an old mentor of mine. God bless him, he's gone now, Leland Bell Vanderwall. Doing at once what needs to be done will increase the possibility of success. 6 things. I do them. And you know something? I become more effective all the time. I don't get that much smarter. I become more effective. Now, if you will do that, you will become more effective. So before you go to bed, I want you to write down the 6 most important things you have to do tomorrow. And then when you get up, do them. And you're going to find by doing that, you're going to begin to do results that stick. Thank you.
Beautiful.
Wow.
And you know, I love what he said towards the end of the video too. He's like, you don't need to become more smart, you just need to become more effective. Because everybody already has the talents that they need. I mean, you could improve some of those talents that you have, but if you can learn how to become more effective with the talents that you already have, you can make a big difference in your life, not just financially, but in every area of your life.
What I find really interesting about that, Coach Juan, is when you talk about talents, most of us tend to take for granted the things that we know how to do. We just think everybody knows how to do those. So the things that you know how to do as a husband, as a wife, as a father, as a mother, those are talents. Those are really beautiful contributions to either your spouse or your children, or if you're a boss to your employees as an employer. It's like we have so many talents that we tend to take for granted. So, for instance, I was thinking, I know it's crazy, but I asked Cecilia this morning, I said, Cecilia, am I a fun person? Am I fun for you? And I kind of assumed that I would know her answer. And she was a little bit nervous. She goes, well, I don't even think of you as fun. And it's like, okay, you know, I did the Myers-Briggs a number of years ago. I'm an INTJ, and part of that is, I'm an introvert. Now, I like to do certain things in public. I like to educate. I like to train people and stuff like that. But the introvert is a person who really makes his own decisions and doesn't really look to other people. So I love things that introverts love to do. I love to study. I love to create. I like to write poetry. I like to do things. But in general, I don't think other people think I'm a fun person. But I'm now saying every day I'm somehow going to create some sort of fun for Cecilia. And maybe other people might slip in there too. So it's like those are talents. I made comic books with inner city kids. I didn't have any sense of how to draw. I didn't have any sense of how to create comics. But I had a commitment to doing it, and I gathered to me people who were talented at that. So it's like, okay, we can make a study of this. How could Bruce become fun for Cecilia? Mm-hmm. So I'm getting that in my list of 6 things to do each day.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful, Bruce. And you know what? I love that you mentioned about your talents that you have, because this weekend, and normally on Sundays, I don't do much work. I just like to kind of like relax and take the day off from everything that I do. But yesterday I found myself working on Canva. Then I started working on one design, another design. Before you knew it, I was probably on the computer and on my phone, between my phone and the computer, working on Canva for maybe about 6 hours yesterday. And at the end of the day, I was like, whoa, it's already 10 o'clock. I better get my butt to bed. But when you find something that you're truly passionate about, like, nothing else really matters, like distractions or friends or none of that stuff really matters when you're truly passionate about the talents that you have. Maybe you discover a talent that you're starting to develop, or like you get into it. You know what? That's what Bob's talking about. You get better at the things that you already know how to do. And if there's one little thing that catches your interest, I say go for it, man. Whatever that is. And that's the passion that we have for coaching people. Like, that's what we find our passion. That's what we really want to do. Like, help you discover your talents and your abilities.
I love that, Coach Juan. If I had asked you 5 years ago, do you have a talent for graphic arts?
What would you have said? Zero.
Yeah. And yesterday, nobody could have pulled you away from there.
No, I was like, at the end of the day, I was like, whoa, like, I was like, thank you, God. I was being grateful. I always have like this gratitude for the things that I do nowadays, which I didn't have in the past. Gratitude was not a big thing in my life.
Yeah. And you didn't say it, but I'm going to say it. In other words, there's some sort of motivation that calls us into discovering talents that we have, but we didn't know. Years and years and years ago, I was between my first and my second marriage, and my parents wanted to introduce me to this young woman they knew. And finally I relented, and I was like, okay. And she was very beautiful. And her father had been a sculptor, like a professional sculptor, made money making, sculptures. And her last boyfriend was a singer-songwriter. She was the singer in the band. And she said, I need a man with an artist's soul. And I was like, where am I going to find an artist's soul? you know. But I sat down to scribble a few words, and I wrote her a poem, and it worked. And then I started writing poetry after that. So it was like, where does that come from? And I'm really saying this for the benefit of the viewers. What is that one thing that you've always wanted to accomplish, but never really took the time to do it? And I always liken it to New Year's resolutions. It's the one thing that stays on your list year after year after year, but you don't do it. And a lot of the thought is, I don't know how. I'm not skilled at that, blah, blah, blah. But like Coach Juan and myself, it doesn't really matter. If you want it, the how will show up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So
and it's when we learn how to get out of the way and learn how to like attract those right things into our life. Sometimes we want certain things in our life, but we get in the way. We're like, well, I can't do this because of this, because of that right there, you're getting in the way of the abundance of whatever it is that you want to attract into your life. When you start saying to yourself, I can't do this because of this, because of that, then it's not going to happen because you're in the way, you're blocking yourself.
Right. Just like I have never been a fun guy,
Mm-hmm.
but I had never been a comic book creator. And we did it. So I can create myself as a fun guy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so it's very interesting. And I'm looking forward to this discovery process.
Yeah, because it's in you, Bruce. It's in you.
Yeah. And I love creating things with people. You know, I love creating with you. I love when I did Landmark. I love coaching. I love working with my participants. When they had a dream, I got enrolled in their dream. And together, we helped them manifest their dream. So since COVID, when we didn't get together that much, the opportunity to participate in that sort of touchy-feeling in-person world is diminished. But COVID is over. And even with COVID, you know, there's the opportunity to learn how to do Zoom or StreamYard or some other video chat where we can actually create with people all over the world. You and I are on the Zoom every morning with a gentleman, Fulufalo, from South Africa. And we get his perspective. Today, he showed us what he eats on a regular basis. I didn't know what it was. You didn't know what it was. But how interesting it is to find out what is normal everyday life for another person somewhere. So people are fascinating, you know, very exciting.
Yes. So, and remember too, guys, like Zoom, like we never heard of Zoom before COVID. Like we heard Skype, a little bit of the Skype, but all of a sudden that when COVID hit, like Zoom just skyrocketed.
Yeah.
We don't know where it came from. Like, I'm pretty sure that there was other people like in their making before it took them maybe a couple of years to get it going off the ground. But once COVID hit, that was the avenue that everybody used. Like 98% of the population was probably using Zoom.
Right. But now we're on another video chat called StreamYard.
Mm-hmm.
It's not Zoom. And yesterday in my relationship coaching lab, we're using something called, I want to say, None. And I'm not sure what None stands for, but that was the video chat that they asked us to begin using. So we don't know what creators are out there creating other things. So it's a wonderfully wide open world. And we'd love to hear from you. What are you causing and creating with this little tidbit of information about time and making a list of 6 things that you know to do? You might not know how to do them, but you know that they will make a difference in your life tomorrow.
Yes, I love that. And you know, and we're gonna create some kind of document like with the 6 daily activities. We're gonna share that with the rest of the audience so everybody can have access to those things.
I was hesitating to say that because we put the responsibility all on Coach Juan's shoulders because he's the graphic artist. So I didn't want to make him accountable without him saying it's okay. So thank you for making that promise to our viewing audience.
Yes, I love it, and I'm loving the part of the creation part of myself that I didn't know I didn't even know existed, but it's there, and I'm excited about it, Bruce.
So put your name, put your email address in, and as soon as we create that chart with My CBA Academy and a space for 6 promises, we will send you digitally the thing that you could do to go make your own. And we'll even send you a link to, I think it's called GotPrint, but another printing service if not. But we'll show you how to make a bunch of these reminder things for yourself. I don't even have the language to talk about it properly. Okay.
All righty, Coach Bruce. Well, thank you, audience, for being here. And like, we just want to help you develop your talents.
Yes. So
All
goodbye for today from graphic artist Coach Juan and introvert, not fun person, Coach Bruce. We'll see you tomorrow.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.